Tata Harper is an all-natural beauty and wellness brand, which we started in the early 2000s. It was initially launched as a response to not being able to identify in the market other natural, non-toxic, and healthy brands that would deliver on a true luxury experience for the consumer. QuickBooks was great for a period. It has a lot of good reporting and functions, and it's fairly versatile, especially at a low cost, but for smaller businesses. But the challenge for us was, we from the get-go were complex with our processes. And after a certain amount of time, the file size began to balloon. And that's when you start to encounter challenges with the QuickBooks. The data integrity starts to become challenged once the level of complexity and the number of transactions get to a certain point. So the file grows to a certain size. And we found that we were, running into the limits of what the software was able to offer. And we spoke to numerous of them. We looked at SAP, we looked at Epicor. I can't even remember the names of some of the other softwares that we looked at the time. And I want to say we met with probably a dozen different options. In terms of growth scale versus when we first started with BatchMaster versus today, the business is, I would say, 2.5 to 3 times bigger than it was. So one of the great things with BatchMaster is we've been able to scale the business utilizing the software. So that's been something that's been great to continue to grow, but with a software, it's been able to grow along with us. But from a functionality standpoint, we're super happy with everything BatchMaster has had to offer. And as I said, there are even tools that we haven't even begun to leverage yet that are available to us.
So basically, the way that we leverage, we obviously use it in the production process down at the farm. So when a person in our batching group is going to be manufacturing a particular batch, they will bring up the formula inside of BatchMaster. They'll follow the instructions as they're written in there in order to produce it.
Very glad that BatchMaster also has scan device capabilities, and handheld device capabilities. So our warehouse team can pull up the purchase order information on handhelds and, receive those materials, confirm which purchase order it's associated with, if there was any damage to the order and we did not receive the correct amount, it can be properly logged at that time without having to sit in front of a computer. These are, important things for to be agile, to be fast, and BatchMaster allows us to have that robust e-warehouse solution.
I use BatchMaster very often in order to check on what's the current situation for whether or not something has passed quality control inspections. Is this usable material? What is the expiration on these materials? Which again, these are all data points that are stored within BatchMaster, which would be extraordinarily difficult to try to keep track of just in external Excel files. So that's definitely the major area that I would say we leverage BatchMaster in order to aid or facilitate our production at the farm for our folks.
The first great part is that BatchMaster's taking all that data, recording all that data. The second great part is that we can actually create a custom report to let us export the exact data points we need.
So I will say that another key aspect with BatchMaster over the years that I've really loved is the ability to reach out to customer service and to work with any of your different representatives to try to facilitate us doing new things and exploring new ways to use information and to pull information from the BatchMaster software. So thank you guys for that. That was very helpful over the years.
BatchMaster wants you as a client to succeed and wants to work with you to make sure you succeed.